bosses, especially at one time, were mostly English talking, and there was probably a few that talked French, because one of them that I know of, Omer Lang, my father said he talked French like him, because he came from Canada, although his name sounded more English. And so yeah, they communicated. So we questioned my father after, well, what did he tell you? Well, yeah, he told me where to go, and that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Couldn't believe it. We had never heard that. I mean, did that in the woods, and it's like they had learned how to communicate.
And did he work in the woods like every day, or was he gone for like weeks, or?
At the beginning, when they were first married in 29, I guess he was gone for probably a month at a time, and probably more. Like he'd come down for Christmas, then he would go back in the woods, and they'd come back when it was mud season, and that was for like a month or so. And then they'd go back in the woods for the whole, for a month or 2 months at a time, depending where the camp was. And later on, it was more by the week. And at the end of it was daily, usually.
Now, how long did he work in the woods and the camps?
Oh my gosh, so he started, we'll say, like in 27, and he ended in 59, because he came down with TB. And that ended his career.
That's a long career, being out in the woods every day.
It is.
Do you,
like I say, he grew up on a farm, so they had to cut their own wood. So they knew how to do that already. He never got hurt, that I know of, and it was a dangerous job. He never got hurt, and I guess they knew what they were doing.
That's good. Did your mom, was she working at the time that your father was gone, or?
Well, at the beginning, at that time when they married in 29, women, when they get married, that's it. They didn't work anymore. So, and I think that's what she did. But later on, when we were teenagers, or even a little before that, she went to work.
Okay.
And landed in a shop at the end. She worked in the shop.
Do you remember which shop?
Oh, yeah. Well, the last one was Converse, which made the Converse shoe. And before that, it was Wear Knitters, which was a company from Massachusetts that started in the late 40s. Before that, she worked at the hospital, worked in a restaurant. She worked at the hospital as a nurse's aide, too, for a while, and she did a lot of different work, but she finished at Converse.
So she kind of went through all the different businesses around here.
After that, in the shop, it was more steady, and I think that's why she landed there.
Now, did she learn English while she was working at the shops, or had she already gotten a pretty good grasp of it by then?
She learned as she went, I guess, through us and through working. I think she probably learned more English than a woman that never went out to work.
Okay.
And she could understand it quite well. Like, she'd read the local paper, and she'd call me sometimes, and this is what I get from this article, and am I right? And she was all the time. So, but to read out loud, she wouldn't have done it, but she could understand it. So she did pretty well. Probably better than my father, although, like I said, my father could converse with his bosses. He knew what they were talking about, I guess, too, because he's not the one that went out to pay the bills and, have anything to do with the landlord or anything like that. She did all that because he was gone.
Okay.
So,
so a lot of were there a lot of other French-speaking families where you lived, or in the same kind of, their fathers were?
There was French people all over town.
Okay.
And so wherever we lived, there was always kids that talked French, because at school we had half a day of French and half a day of English. So we kept our French that way, and the kids all talked French when we were kids. And we mix it, of course, with English.
Yep.
And even our kids at the beginning talk only French. I think our oldest one talked only French till he was 3. And then he started playing outside, that's it.
Yeah. So by the time you had children, the half day in French and the half day in English was
it's still going on.
It was still going on? Okay.
Yeah, and I think it probably stopped And because my kids still had that, so we'll say in the early 60s, maybe eventually it stopped, and they had like 45 minutes of French, and then the Catholic schools closed in the late 60s, early 70s, so that was it for French, especially in the grammar schools.
Okay. Now, was the school that you went to and your children went to, was that attached to the church?
They were Catholic schools.
Okay. What church was that here?
Well, I went to St. Regis, that's still there, it's a elderly housing next to St. Anne's Church.
Okay.
And my kids went to St. Joseph, which is another parish, where my husband went. He went to St. Joseph too.
Okay.
So it was all the non-stop French. And
Okay.
priests and
That's awesome. So just what, do you have any strong kind of childhood memories about growing up and speaking French or anything like that? Or
I think it was our normal thing.
Yep.
We talked French, and sometimes my mother would get upset with us. We talked too much English, especially when we got to be teenagers. Like, how come you talk English to your friend on the phone? You don't want me to understand what you're saying? I hated that, and she'd say that. Did your mother give you a hard? Probably not, because your mother knew English.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't come directly. It's your grandparents that came.
Well, yeah, my father came from Canada.
Well, but they talked English more.
Well, my mother came here in 1912. She was 6 years old.
Oh, okay, so she
So
went
she
to
had a
school.
chance to learn.
Yeah. She had more chances, yeah.
Yeah. So your mother came to Berlin, or
Well, the idea is, my grandfather came to Berlin.
well,
He was a blacksmith in Canada, and he came down here to work at the international paper. As you come in town, you see the Smith Eitel tank